Alright, and we're back for another episode. I did a little bit of work in between turns, namely a lot of twice-borns that I didn't get around to. But what's going on? Okay, so he's cast Roots of the Earth. Banderlog has new new prophets, a lot of Banes and Bane Lords coming out. Viceroy Primate. I'm kind of surprised he still has those. Again, he lost all of his capital only. He doesn't have his capital, so he lost all his access to his capital only crap. Alright, that hurt more than I was expecting. That's a lot of kills. Was the Witch Doctor... Did he have death and was spamming death? Were they spamming summons of some kind? Let's find out, because I took a lot of casualties and inflicted a lot more kills than I see there. So let's see what happened. Oh, summoning Earth Elementals and Swarm, so yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, summon Earth Elemental. It does trample, so it makes sense that I'd take some casualties there. And then Swarm, a ton of just small creatures that show up and are inconvenient. Let's put it that way. But it's a great way to just keep churning out large amounts of troops, which will then soak up damage. And maybe even kill someone. Like, he is inflicting poison, my people are poisoned from that. Yeah, the fire and keep distance means they're backing off because those are too close. It's unfortunate though, because that means they're going to keep targeting those close ones. Which, okay, fortunately, Swarm takes nature gems, and so only he could cast it again. He's casting quickness though, and that's a problem. Oh. See, this is the part where the accuracy thing is actually starting to come back to bite me in the ass. Because they're still firing on the same spot even after the target has died. And so these troops are moving in and basically getting hit with the arrows that were already in flight. Oh. And he actually successfully morale broke him. Cheers. That said, though, they're out of those. Well, nope, that's the last one there. Now, he is beyond 200 fatigue, so he's out for the rest of this. But they're all out of nature gems, so they can't do any more castings of Swarm. Also, their Yavanas are out of arrows, which my boys surprisingly still aren't. And that's probably the guy that dies, though. Yeah, he's already taken a fair bit of damage. And he is frankly too close. Yep. He did. Yep. So now my Gabos are out past, while my true shot longbow boys over here just keep shooting the crap out of. Oh, that's last volley. They're out. Okay. And that's it. Since they're out, they now engage in melee, which the nice thing about Shinuyama's bigger boys is that they, you know, are still decent melee combatants. So, despite the fact that this has gone on long enough for them to run completely out of arrows, they're still more than a match for the troops spawned by a Swarm in melee. So look at that, 41 damage. And so these guys, since they're all over 100 fatigue, they can't take actions. And then when they come back, yeah. Nothing they can do. So that's a victory on the throne. They tried something and paid for it. a Mound King with ghosts. But didn't pan out for him. It's just a small army. I don't know why they thought that would work. They've come at me with bigger and failed. Cool. We stopped another one of those frickin'... I need to do something about that enchantment, but, yeah. Oh, then, yep, the Soulless completely failed, but that's not too surprising, honestly. And we found Sectarians, killed them. They tried to scout with a Frog Familiar, and was immediately killed because I have absurd province defense compared to what a normal game would have. Yay. Unrest and misfortune. Beardless dwarf. Okay, rip. Rip, bro, but cheers. Head that way, I guess. I'll just have you research or something. Anyway. So I have a lot of people not doing anything here now because all of them needed to cast Twiceborn. So we'll put you back on research. What am I researching these days? Literally nothing, so alteration. Because So basically, if you don't remind yourself... Oh, I can cast that, and I should. Oh, I forgot to set myself to offline. Ignore that my friends are playing games. So basically, if you never set any Q, what it will do is it'll just go from the top and work its way down. So as you can see, since we've hit Conjuration 9 already, there's no more research to do in Conjuration. 9's as high as they go. So all that research then starts going to the next school down, which is Alteration in this case. So on and so forth, all the way down to Blood. If you don't have anything in particular you want, which right now, I don't know, maybe Construction and Enchantment just to wrap those up. Yeah. Just pop Armies of the Dead, Fields of the Dead. Fields of the Dead isn't a bad one that I could theoretically have access to. Could theoretically, unfortunately, because I don't think... Let me check. Yeah, no, the Skullface needs native 5. And unfortunately, the best I can do right now is native 4, yeah. So yeah. The reason I don't want too many of these... Okay, and these don't give me blood anyway, so there's not too much of a reason to go for them. They have decent protection base. They're thugs, plain and simple. Like, you use them to fight things. Again, the problems with them being they cause unrest. So this would be going up if it weren't for the fact that having a defense of 50 means it goes down 5 a month, so it combats that handily. But they also have Oni Summoner. So if there's unrest or a turmoil scale in the province, so I could actually just send him to one of the areas that had gotten taken, like over here. Would be a good one. And so while he's standing there, it'll just summon Ko-Oni. It's not a bad idea, actually. I think I will. Because of that, so it's a trance of some will show up only if there's unrest or turmoil. The higher unrest or turmoil, greater chance a group will show up. And the value will also modify it. I assume 50 is just a default. They are demons, which means they have undead leadership. All demons and undead count in the undead category. It's why they're separated out from just magical. Things with undead leadership can be hit by things like banishment. Now, because this is Shinuyama, these are sacred demons. Don't think too hard about it. Or do. If you're a fan of... Oh, yes, and she can actually just... I forgot she can do that. Just summon more sprites. There's really no need for that, but I might as well. I say really no need, because her big thing she's going to be casting... Like, her big purpose is just to hold these, honestly. Like, I think that's all boom, she's done. So we don't actually need to summon allies with her. I think we'll send you up to the border. So yeah, this is already getting cold. This is still hot, but it's still fall, so it might freeze over. Let's put it that way. Actually, I think both of these guys are, yeah, amphibian and poor amphibian, so they can cross it anyway, actually. I'm curious to see how they stack up. I imagine poorly, but we'll find out, won't we? So anyway, he casts Summon upon Tara, which is big and what I wanted him to do. So now he can cast Twiceborn and get his ghetto-ass immortality. That is not entirely accurate, but hey. And of course, the trade-off is since I have cast that, now I can get the good archers. And I am going to start mixing bandits in just in general. Because again, the biggest issue I have is recruitment points. And bandits are cheaper in recruitment points, so they're going to be what I go for. Alright, first things first, that is not what I meant to grab, but here we are. How many do I have? 73. That is quite a bit. And quite a bit more than I want right now. Dude. I'll be honest, I didn't expect that to be exact like it was. Fire and keep distance. Double line. Single line. Sparse line. Yeah. Hold an attack closest. The reason I'm setting them to that, even though it's technically a very bad place for them to be, is because, frankly, yes, and now I have those other areas, so I can at least get some of the resources back. I say some because due to the high unrest, it drops what you actually get out of the province. Actually, let's go ahead and move him up to there, because that's even higher unrest. Which is good in this case. But yeah, so we have claimed this, we built a lab, we can start recruiting hydromancers there, and we're going to, because hydromancers are nice. They are 4 recruitment points, which is a bit of a bummer, but they're water 3 native. Which again, will be huge, in dealing with relay. So right now I have my 2 thrones, and now I can go claim this third one up here. Which one is it? The Throne of Storms. Air Gems, Dominion, Shock Resistance for Sacreds, which, again, not that great for me, but still, it's blessed. So, you know, that's for my mages too, and extra 2 Air Gems. So, I'll be sitting pretty eventually. Forest of the Dead, Enchanted Pyre, Grove of Evergreens, Labyrinth of Skulls. Yeah, I'm sitting pretty on gem income from this place. I am going to bump it up to 80 because it's a throne. I do not want it to fall for any reason whatsoever. And now I can set about basically securing this free real estate. Okay, see, this is worrying to me. Again, the closest person to this really is Tianqi. And they have not expanded in this direction, it seems like. At least not up to here. Meanwhile, I'm, you know, half of China is mine. Like, what's up? It's kind of concerning. But, you know, it's what it is. Now, these guys, see, the guys with a nice high death skill can command a lot of long dead. So as long as I have these guys just reanimating, I get free undead chaff. It's just free. Free troops that don't eat, so by their very nature, they don't take supply, any of the downsides that having real troops causes. they're weak. They are very, very weak. They only have like 5 health. They have rusty gear, which, I mean, it's something, but it's not much. So they occasionally have some proc, low magic resistance. They can be swatted very easily, but they're free. They're 100% bona fide free. F-R-E-E. And they can't route. Just plain and simple. They're mindless. They have morale 50. They can't route. They can't be mind burned. Since they are so low health, the health, they don't count as much for the calculations of health routes. Yeah. I do want a bunch of that. You can do, and so you will do, because Triton Troopers are nice and Relay is scary. And you can fucking quote me on that. Yep, meanwhile, he is still continuing to summon the fucking Mantis Shrimps of Doom, which is glorious. Doubly glorious because that is a statement I get to make. Like, that makes me pretty happy with life, you know? When I can talk about Mantis Shrimps of Doom that serve me. Yeah, Abyssia, I don't know what they have going on. I don't know what their plan is. Because I could make a play for a war with them right now. A war I would probably win. Now, yeah. Where is Ind? I was in Ind recently. I know it's over here somewhere. Yes, there's Calum proper. Dream the Idol of the Harvest. Actually, why not? Try for an assassination. I probably should have geared you with something. Because you actually don't really have much of anything going for you except for the fact that you cause fear. So maybe don't do that, actually. Let's just send you that away. By whatever means. I could have sworn Ind was somewhere in here. But, like, I've seen it. I know it exists around here. Like, of course, anywhere I have been keeps the names. So Norville, Crisprana, Abi, Pakuzaz. Like, I could have sworn she was in Ind not too long ago. Well, whatever. We'll just keep exploring. Don't really remember where it was, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm kind of in a bind right now, actually, because I don't know what boosters to give my boys. Some of them are pretty simple. Everyone gets Rings of Wizardry, just period. It's just better. But then we get to the point of staffs. Now, there are a few I can give. The reason it's so complicated, probably Elemental Mastery is what these guys are going to get, and not Skull Staves for the most part, because it does nothing for them. But, like, because Skull Staff, now he's Death 4, with all the nice things that come with Death 4. Though, admittedly, a lot of them come at Death 3. Horde of Skeletons comes at Death 3, but again, higher level means reduced fatigue costs there. However, I can give him a Staff of Elemental Mastery. And if I do that, well, if I give him that one, now his proc jumps up to 23, because his nat proc is 15, because this one does Stone Skin and Shock Resistance. But not only that, now he's 3/2/3. So he can summon Earth Power, do all the Earth buffs, he can cast Phoenix Power, get Fire 4, and all the stuff he can do with that. Like, so the answer is probably going to be, for the most part, Staves of Elemental Mastery, or across the board. This one just gives Fire and Cold resistance instead, but the other stuff is still the same. See, now he's Earth 4, With Earth Power, he's Earth 5, which means let's take a look at that boy and go over all the stuff we can do with him in just a moment. Wait, okay, that's the Kuro-Oni, Oni General, Dai-Oni. So it's the highest one we can do for that. If he was a level 5 Death Mage, so if I gave him... No, because again, I have the wall. The wall that is Death 4. Death. So do they have? Probably not, because they're a lower level than Mound Fiends. But maybe. He actually just lacks. Actually. If we swap that out. Give him a Staff of Elemental Mastery. A Ring of Wizardry. You want rings, because then... Wait, no, that's right. With that, I can actually break the wall. Because I can give him a Skull Staff. Now he's Death 5. Which means, first off, I can forge Skull Faces, which he's just gonna do. Which is the other Death Booster. So, if I give... Rings of Wizardry are just huge for getting around everything. So, like, I can give these boys Skull Staves, so that makes them Death 4. With a Skull Face, they'll be Death 5. I was going to do, because if I had instead given him the Staff of Elemental Mastery, and then had either him or somebody else forge him a Flaming Skull, that would give him the death he needs. Not death, fire he needs to do the King of Banefire's summon. But that's neither here nor there. This is one of the nice places where I'm actually capped by resources and not recruitment points, so that's nice. But yeah. So we'll have to see how this goes. Before I hit the end turn button, basically while it's still on my mind and before I forget, I'm going to take some advice from the crowd here. Oh, that's actually perfect. I will be honest, I did not expect that. Actually, we'll just set them like that, and then I'll set the second group of his the other way. Since he has 40 leadership, he can't put things in formations, and he doesn't give a morale bonus, but they have decent morale to begin with. But anyway, back on target. Sort of. What I might do for future games. This game, I've started this way, so I'm going to continue this way. And the this way in question is just the fact that I am going turn by turn. Like, here's everything that's happening this turn, and then next turn, and then the turn after, and just, like, here's what's going on. What I might do instead is GeneralConfusion actually just started doing it, which was the impetus for get me to think about it, and realize that might be a good idea. Is what he's done for his latest is go and basically showcase, okay, here's my empire at this turn, here's what I've done, what my plan was, how that stacked up, and where I'm going with it. And then moved on to, you know, okay, that's enough. and then we'll skip ahead like 4 or 5 turns. Here's my empire. Here's how I stacked up with what I tried to do. Moving on, like that sort of thing. Okay. I like how everybody else is getting screwed by the that enchantment more than I am. So like, I'm actually able to snap up some free territory without starting any wars, just because I'm more prepared and handle it better. Oh boy. But yeah, that new format, the instead of doing this where it's like every turn, here's what I've set out to do, here's what I accomplished, here's what I still need to accomplish. Uh, just doing that like periods of turns instead. Because it's all well and good to turn by turn the beginning. Like, first couple of episodes, I was doing, 6, 7 turns a video. Like, just no big. But, you know, like now, I'm running, 7. Like, 7 or 8 a turn. Like, I'm running, not 7 or 8. Wow. That is the wrong direction. That is the direction I wish this was going. But no, now I'm doing 2 turns. And even to fit 2 turns into the same episode is taking, 40 plus minutes instead of the 30 I try to keep my videos at. So, it's a lot less, just because, like, part of it is, of course, the map I chose. This is far and away the most insane map possibly in existence. Literally the next biggest map I have is a third of this size. And so there will be a lot less to keep track of, a lot less going on in those, but I can actually stop the repeat recruitment now. Like, all this can stop. There's no need anymore. That far out anyway. Arguably, I still need to keep some going because relay exists and, is somewhere within 1,000,000 miles of me. And by 1,000,000 miles, I mean border. But yeah, it takes a lot because there's so much, especially on a map this size, to go over. Like, did I remember everything? Did I do everything I wanted to do? I still need to get rid of that frickin' enchantment because I'm just so done with it. Yeah, he's got his riches from beneath, which is extra resources in the Dominion, extra income. Okay, that wasn't what I thought it was, but it's still a problem. That's neat. Strike undead enemies. Okay. So that negates my free units, but they're free, so whatever. And I don't... Presumably they're somewhere in here. Like, up here somewhere. But I don't know them. They're not my problem. And oh, this place doesn't have defense. And it can recruit Triton troopers. That's a grave sin. I fucked up there, but whatever. Nothing capitalized on it, so it's fine. But yeah, I'll go ahead and hit that end turn button. Do let me know in the comments if you think a more generalist view instead of me trying to turn by turn everything would be more appealing. For those of you that are still here, if there are any of you. But yeah, I'll see you guys next turn. Actually, with this talk, I could probably just go for the end of the episode with this. So yeah, this is just going to be a 1 turn. See how y'all feel. I've never seen horrors before in my 100+ hours. So I'm actually very curious to see how they stack up and how my boys will stack up to them. So that could be a thing. That will be a thing next episode, I think. But for now, I have this Throne of Storms to claim. I have this whole area to subjugate while I can still cross the rivers. So actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just have him start that way. Because it just doesn't matter. Yeah, and let's swap this out because he has access to all of those routed spears from his army. So with good archer support, we can start, like, you know, claiming some of this area while he takes the good archers and claims all this. Because even without a front line, or excuse me, with one unit in the front line, still totally strong enough to take all that. But yeah, so this was just a one-turn episode. Not a lot going on aside from prepping. I'm very conflicted now because on the one hand, a war with Tianqi isn't strictly necessary, I don't think, unless they have that throne. Because if they have any thrones, they haven't claimed them, I don't think. Yeah, they're not on the board at all in that regard. Whereas I have 3, technically. I've claimed 2 of the 3, not all of them. Yeah, so that's another 1-pointer though. So I'll have 2, 4, 5 of the ascension points. Which, granted, since I literally made it, you need every single throne to win. Wiping out some factions will be necessary. Kylum is scary. I might help Uruk deal with them because they're scary. And they're large, and they've at least kicked Ind out of Ind's territory, if I recall correctly. But I don't know. I could be horrendously wrong. What do I know? Yeah, I will see you gentlemen next episode. Bye-bye.